Now Clint Smith will take the same line Babb did out of that second corner, dive underneath Conley. Into three, he'll slingshot by. So Clint Smith has now cleared the Delmas Conley lap machine. But it's Dale McDowell, next one to go lap in the rears will be the 96 of Terry English, and Darren Miller has caught the race leader at lap 34. 35 in this time around. McDowell sidesteps the 96 of Terry English but doesn't make the pass. Tucks back in line and Miller is closing the gap. McDowell has company in the form of Darren Miller. As Miller now is within 2 car lengths of the leader, Dale McDowell. McDowell gets around English, gets some breathing room for the moment, but English battles back to the inside. Babb closes the gap now in a 32 feet of Darren Miller. Once again, Shannon Babb throwing his hat in the ring to take this World 100. Babb riding in the third spot, and Clint Smith closing the gap on Shannon Babb. Top 4 cars continuing to run strong, surrounding slower cars, using the finesse that has kept them up front. It's McDowell, Miller, and Babb the top 3. Clint Smith and Chubb Frank the top 5. Then Eckert and Moyer, Owens, Burkhofer, and the 5M of Marler. Shannon Babb fires the rockets up once again, tries to get off the lap, watching Babb around Darren Miller. He'll chase it down the backstretch and into 3. Shannon Babb works the outside of Darren Miller. Babb is closing in a hurry. Miller staying within touch of race leader Dale McDowell. Next one in line to go a lap down is RJ Conley at 71C. Here comes Shannon Babb. He'll go to the outside. Gets pinched up on a wall by Darren Miller. So Babb had to get on the minors right back on the loud pedal. Miller closing in on a 17M of McDowell. Here comes Shannon Babb one more time. Babb working the high side of Darren Miller. Looks to the outside. They're wheel-to-wheel, door-to-door down the backstretch. Shannon Babb has the number 2 spot. Miller battles back on the inside. Dale McDowell's got his hands full with RJ Conley. Has no idea Shannon Babb has gotten around Darren Miller, who's now in hot pursuit of taking the lead in this World 100. Darren Miller hasn't given up the fight yet as he dives back to the inside of Shannon Babb and tries to get the number 2 spot back away. But Babb will close the door going into 1. Now Miller looks to the inside of Babb. Babb will have no part of it as he stays on the high side of the tire tracks of RJ Conley. Shannon Babb having a solid run. Darren Miller giving it all he's got. Both of these drivers looking for their first 100 win, as is race leader Dale McDowell. None of the top 4 drivers have ever tasted victory in this 35th annual classic. One of them may be up on that infamous stage tonight as lap number 44 goes in the record book. 56 remaining, 6 shy of the halfway point. Dale McDowell took over on lap number 20 after Jackie Box went pit side. He has led up to this 44th circuit. There's still a lot of racing laps to go. And Shannon Babb and Darren Miller are keeping McDowell within their sights. Rick Eckert have got around Billy Moore some laps ago, starting to close the gap on 5th place and defending World 100 champion Chubb Frank. Eckert having a solid run in the 24 machine. Rick Eckert starting in the number 15 position has worked his way towards the top 5. Miller goes underneath Babb in turn 2. Can't get it done as Babb will keep him at bay. They're closing in on race leader Dale McDowell. 3 cars about to get under a blanket and have a fight for the lead. Darren Miller again looking underneath Shannon Babb, testing the waters down low. Babb has no part of that as he'll keep him at bay, but still keeps Dale McDowell within his sights. McDowell coming in now what's going to be some very heavy traffic. First one in line, Davey Johnson as Miller looks underneath Babb again. McDowell couldn't get around Johnson. That cost him some time as Babb got rid of Darren Miller. Now goes to work on Dale McDowell. Shannon Babb looking for victory here in the World 100, but it's a long ways away as it'll be halfway the next time by. Babb gets a good run off of turn 2, fires on the afterburners, and Shannon Babb is taking the lead away from Dale McDowell. They work it out of also Shannon Babb, the new race leader at lap 50. So Babb takes over. McDowell finds himself in second with Darren Miller on his heels. Now it's up to Shannon Babb to work his way through lap traffic as Dale McDowell can pick and choose where he's going to go, watching how Babb gets around these slower cars. So McDowell says, why not? I'll just dive underneath because you're pitched off by Davey Johnson. Contact between Babb and McDowell. They get it straightened out. Darren Miller closes in again on Dale McDowell. Great action up front of this 35th annual World 100. And Babb now slingshots around Davey Johnson. 2 for the price of 1 as he tries to get the 1 car of Josh Richards. Not able to get around Kid Rocket. Here comes Dale McDowell and Darren Miller. They'll get around Davey Johnson. McDowell closing in on Shannon Babb, who's got his hand full with a pair of aces in the form of Josh Richards and Adam Scott. So Babb goes to the top side. Gets rid of 1-1. He'll go by the second one, but easy, we got trouble. Rick Eckert, the 21 of Billy Moyer, Brian Berghofer. Trouble in turns 1 and 2. Jimmy Owens with a destroyed race car in between 1 and 2 as Eckert, Owens, and Moyer all come together. Owens paying the price. Rick Eckert in the Raybest Excavating Rocket Chassis. Ton of left rear damage on the Ford Taurus. Billy Moyer also front end damage on the 21 machine. These 3 cars got together, Moyer with door damage as well. But Jimmy Owens paid the price as he moves his 20 machine pit side. So Jimmy Owens coming down pit road the opposite way with a lot of damage, and it looks like suspension problems all over the front end of the 20 of Jimmy Owens, and his dreams of winning this World 100 may have just went up in turn 1 on lap 53. Race leader Shannon Babb brings Dale McDowell, Darren Miller to the lap car of R.J. Conley. Clint Smith and Chuck Frank, the top 5 as the green flag comes back out. The World 100 is back underway. A heavily damaged Rick Eckert in that last caution skirmish goes to work on Chuck Frank as the 2 Pennsylvania drivers will do battle down the backstretch and into turn 3. Chuck Frank closes the gap on Clint Smith, but Rick Eckert tries to come along as his dancing partner out of turn 4. It's Billy Moyer also involved in that skirmish with some damage. He's going to hear the roar of Brian Berghofer's power plant as Berkey goes to the inside of Mr. Smooth. It's Brian Berghofer, the man on the mission. He has went from 20th to 8th. 12 positions picked up just past the halfway point. So Brian Berghofer solid. But once again, Billy Drake mounts his charge on the inside of Mike Marlar. Both Moyer cars to the outside and in front of Billy Drake. It's Billy Moyer, Mike Marlar, and Drake all going at it tooth and nail. They'll go 3 wide coming out of turn 4. Moyer holds off teammate Marlar and Billy Drake. Jimmy McCready getting in the picture as well as he has closed the gap on Billy Drake. McCready coming from starting position number 26. He has worked his way up through the field in a hurry. So T-Mac giving it a good run as he watches the battle take place in front of him. Another battle behind him shows the 53 of Ray Cook going underneath the 19 of Greg Johnson. Johnson will hold off the Tar Heel Tiger as the Southern Gentleman Freddie Smith staying in the hunt, working his magic to the outside of the racetrack. Matt Miller looks underneath Freddie Smith to no avail coming out of turn 4. Dan Sleeper, a former World 100 winner, working on the Dream 100 winner, Matt Miller. So Sleeper will step to the outside of Miller down the back, shooting into 3. Miller will hold off his advances and look underneath Freddie Smith. He'll work that battle coming out of 4. Smith clears the Sleeper machine. And the 21 of Moyer in trouble. The 5-time World 100 winner is pulling up lane down the backstretch. Moyer's chances of winning the prestigious event may have just went up in smoke as Billy Moyer is out of the event. The field stays under green. They work it out of that 4th corner. Shannon Babb, the race leader, already closing in on slower traffic. Jimmy Mars first in line to go a lap down. As Shannon Babb has set sail, puts some 20 car lengths between himself and second place, Dale McDowell. Now Babb will look to the outside of Jimmy Mars with McDowell and Darren Miller in hot pursuit. This is where Dale McDowell can make up some valuable real estate if he can gain touch with Babb in heavy lap traffic. Babb gets pitched off by Jimmy Mars. Almost breaks the car loose going into 3. Regains his composure. Works it out of 4. Now looks underneath the Iceman. Nowhere to go for race leader Shannon Babb. Dale McDowell knows that he can sniff blood now going out of turn 2 and down the back chute. Babb will go to the high side of Mars in 3. The Missile trying to orbit Mars, coming out of the 4th corner. Can't get it done. McDowell looks to the inside. The Mac Daddy not able to make the pass. Shannon Babb will hold him off. Darren Miller stays right with Dale McDowell. It's Babb, McDowell, Miller to the inside. They'll go side by side in turn number 2. McDowell and Miller will wage war for the number 2 spot. Mars ahead of McDowell and Miller. It's M&M's on the racetrack. They'll mount on the speedway, not in the stands. Out of 4 comes Dale McDowell. Darren Miller, they'll get around Jimmy Mars. So the 2 cars running 2nd and 3rd have cleared the lap car of Jimmy Mars. And Shannon Babb now takes a look to the outside of Terry English. Dale McDowell works the inside of Babb. Nothing doing, coming out of 4 that time. 67 in, 33 to go. 2/3 of the race are in the history books. And it's Shannon Babb, Dale McDowell, Darren Miller. Miller giving pressure again to McDowell. Those 2 drivers have waged war for the past 15 laps. Clint Smith stays in the hunt, as does Chuck Frank. So 5 cars within a straightaway of each other. As Babb looks underneath English, he'll take him to school in turn number 3. Slides underneath. Shannon Babb clears English. Now it's Neath, the next one to go a lap down. Babb looks underneath Brad Neath with Dale McDowell hounding him all the way. Brad Neath, the next one to go a lap in arrears to the race leader Shannon Babb, Dale McDowell, and Darren Miller. Babb will look underneath Brad Neath. He'll get by him in turn number 2, so Neath goes a lap down, but battles back to the inside. That will have nothing to do with that. Dale McDowell and Darren Miller have lost a little ground to the race leader. Clint Smith stays within reason of closing in on Darren Miller, but Clint Smith has company. It's Chuck Frank in the 1 star. Frank trying to work his magic once again here at Eldora Speedway. Frank stays in the top 5, running in that 5th position as Clint Smith will hold the 4th spot. Rick Eckert running in 6th. Bert Crawford running in 7th. It's Billy Drake running 8th. Now Berkey looks to the outside of a damaged Rick Eckert. Can't do anything with it. Coming out of 2, tucks in line, goes back to work in 3. Eckert running the bottom of the racetrack, as does Brian Burkhofer. Billy Drake and Timmy McCready, who's had a very impressive run in this World 100. Everybody chasing Rick Eckert to try and gain touch with the top 5. Eckert having no part of it as he'll stay in front of Berkey, Drake, and McCready. Rick Eckert, heavily damaged rear quarter of that machine, but still able to run in the top 10. Berkey and Eckert will go around Aaron Scott, who's a lap off the pace. Eckert holding off the advances of Brian Burkhofer. Now McCready looks inside Billy Drake. Timmy McCready will grab the spot away from Billy Drake. So Timmy McCready once again setting sail. Now Drake finds himself behind the 39 of T-Mac. Shannon Babb has really turned it on at lap 76. Only 24 to go. McDowell 2nd. Miller 3rd. 4th is Clint Smith. 5th is Chuck Frank. 6th. It'll be the 24 record. 7th is Burkhofer. 8th is McCready. Shannon Babb all alone out front. Comfortable cushion right now for the driver out of Moequa, Illinois. Davey Johnson, the juice off the pace, the veteran out of Greensburg, Pennsylvania, takes the Dale Beitler own number 19J to the pit area. 78 ticks on the scoreboard, 22 remaining. It's now a full straightaway for Shannon Babb over Dale McDowell, Darren Miller, Clint Smith, and Chuck Frank. Out of turn number 4 comes the Moequa Missile. Next one in line to go down will be the 0 of Steve Shaver. Down the backstretch. It'll be the 18 of Babb around Shaver. So Shaver gets trimmed in turn 3. It's Babb continuing to just dismantle this field as he has really opened up the margin. Shane Clanton, next one in line to go a lap down. Aaron Scott will go another lap in the rears. Shannon Babb has got every cockpit in the switch turned on, and he has pulled away from this field in fine fashion. Babb looking for his first ever World 100 win, and he is 19 laps away from completing it and making history. He'll go to work on Shane Clanton in turn 3. Looks to the low side of the Lucas Grove Lightning. Bobble by Clanton, so Babb thinks better of it, tucks back in line, gets in his tire tracks again. Shannon Babb showing the way down the backstretch. Trailing Shane Clanton, gingerly trying to get around him. It's trouble in turn 4. It's Ray Cook and Matt Miller spinning to avoid. But the Tar Heel Tiger and the Waterville Warrior come to rest in turn 4 as the caution flag comes out with 18 laps to go. Brian Burkhofer running in the 6th spot after starting 20th, still within reason of winning this World 100 for the 2nd time, as leader Shannon Babb brings him out of turn 4. We're back underway. Last ditch effort. These guys need to show their cards now if they have anything for the Moequa Missile. They're doing just that as Chuck Frank starting to close the gap on Clint Smith, trying to grab the number 4 spot away. But here comes Berkey. He's not done yet. Works the inside of Chuck Frank. Doesn't make the pass coming out of 4. Looks right back to the inside of Chuck Frank. Also looking at Frank is the number 44 of Smith, and he just got passed by Chumpzilla. So now Clint Smith in jeopardy of getting passed by Berkey as Chumpzilla already went around him. And Aaron Scott is in trouble in the 1 machine on the high side. Way off the pace, but now gathers it back up, so we stay under green. 84 and 16 to go. And again, Aaron Scott coming up lane. He may have a flat tire on the Subway Sub Shops number 1 as he is already back to the rear of the field. 15 to go for Shannon Babb. Dan Schleifer still having aspirations of a good finish. Working on Brad Mead in the 41 with Shane Clanton in his rear view mirror. Clanton closes in on the Wisconsin Wildman, bringing along Ray Cook for a dancing partner out of turn 4. Smoke now billowing out of the 1 of Aaron Scott, so Aaron Scott in some serious trouble. Already multiple laps down in the featuring bend. Aaron Scott may have the rear end shifting on that machine as we stay under green. 13 laps to go. And Freddie Smith, rear end fluid all over the right rear quarter panel of the White Oaks Motorsports 00. So Freddie Smith will be the latest casualty of this 35th annual World 100 as Shannon Babb soars by. Dale McDowell running 2nd, Darren Miller 3rd, Chuck Frank 4th, and Clint Smith 5th. Brian Burkhofer running 6th, 7th. It'll be Rick Eckert, 8th, Tim McCready, 9th, Billy Drake, and 10th, Mike Marlar. Caution flag out on the speedway. Freddie Smith coming to rest in the backstretch. Didn't make it into the pit area where the entrance is, just off of turn 3. So the caution flag comes out for the Southern Gentleman with 89 laps in the books, and Freddie Smith's night is over. Shannon Babb brings the Thundering Herd out of turn 4 with 11 laps remaining. And the green is out. This is it. This may be the final chance for these drivers to get around the Moequa Missile. They've got their work cut out for them now. As Clint Smith gets some pressure from Brian Burkhofer, but still trails Chuck Frank. That's the battle for the number 6 spot as they come down out of turn number 4. It's Babb, McDowell, Miller, Frank, Smith, Burkhofer, and the 24 of Becker. Berkey looking underneath Cat Daddy. Nothing doing. 10 to go. It's all Shannon Babb as he pulls away again from 2nd place, Dale McDowell. Burkhofer trying to reel in Clint Smith. Can't get it done coming out of the 4th corner. The rest of the field trying to do whatever they can to get in touch with the leader, but it's not working. As Shannon Babb is hooked up, latched on, and he has got a comfortable lead once again. Almost a full straightaway already over Dale McDowell. Babb has clear sailing from this point on. No lap traffic within his visor. So Shannon Babb can turn it on and put it wherever he wants to. as he works out of that middle groove. Coming out of 4, Dale McDowell can see him, but can he catch him? 7 laps to go. McDowell will get around the lap car of Steve Shaver. Has clear sailing, but it's a straightaway advantage for Babb over McDowell. Darren Miller, 10 car lengths behind second place, Dale McDowell. Then it's Chuck Frank and Clint Smith rounding out the top 5. Now it's up to Darren Miller to get around Steve Shaver as he'll go around the lap 0 machine. Chuck Frank next one to do the deed. Down the back stretch and into turn 3. Chuck Frank will get rid of Steve Shaver as well. Running out of time as 95 laps are in the books. 5 remaining for the Moequa Missile Shannon Babb. Timmy McCready still a solid run, trying to work on his friend Rick Eckert. Hasn't been able to do so. Mike Marler, very impressive in the Billy Moore ride. Dan Sleeper, also a solid run in the 9 machine. Shane Clanton and Brandy continue their battle on the racetrack with 4 to go. The Lucas Gold Lightning working on Brandy with Ray Cook in hot pursuit. 3 laps remaining for Babb as he works his way down to that chute and into 3 close quarters. That time for Cook and Clanton. Babb coming out of turn number 4 gets the 2-lap to go signal. He's 1 mile away from winning the biggest race in his career. He won the UNP Summer Nationals this year, but has never tasted victory here at Eldora Speedway. And Shannon Babb is now 1.5 mile away from setting history. He works it into turn 1 for the final time. Negotiates turn number 2 with ease. Sets sail down the backstretch. Final corner. Final time. Winning the 35th annual World 100, the Moequa Missile Shannon Babb. Second place will go to Dale McDowell. Third to Darren Miller. Chuck Frank 4th. Clint Smith is 5th. Burke Hopper is 6th. Eckert 7th. 8th goes to McCready. 9th to Drake. And 10th will go to Mike Marler. But picking up his first ever World 100 win out of Moequa, Illinois in the Car City Carl Chevrolet J&J Steel 18 machine. He's going to go to victory lane once he reaches the scales. Shannon Babb has won the World 100 in fine fashion. Well, Shannon Babb appeared to be the winner of the World 100. We thought the lights come on the scale making weight. And Shannon Babb is making his way to his trailer. Shannon Babb, 10 pounds light at the scales. That means that the Mac Daddy Dale McDowell will be coming to victory lane. Shannon Babb did not make weight, 10 pounds light at the scales. So Dale McDowell has inherited this 35th annual classic here at Eldora Speedway.
Leading early in the event and trying to track down the high-flying 18 car of Shannon Babb. And Dale McDowell will be in victory circle as the World 100 winner. Let's send it down to the victory stage in the voice of Eldora Speedway, Todd Tapple.
Well, Dale McDowell getting set to climb on the machine. I'm sure a bittersweet victory for this driver. Getting the Hoosier apparel on as he gets set to climb on our race fan. Put your hands together for Dale McDowell.
Well, Dale, there's a tough situation. I mean, to win the World 100, you want to be ecstatic and everything else, but this sort of puts a weird crimp in the scenery here.
Well, first of all, Shannon Babb won the race. 10 pounds didn't get us, but, you know, the rules being it the way it is, I mean, I take it. We ran a good second. I broke my headrest tough about 40 laps ago, and I had to hold my head up, track covered up. But my hat's off to Shannon. 10 pounds is not what got it. You know, I hate to take it this way, but I got to give him the credit. I wish there was something I could do. I feel for him. I've lost, but, you know, I'm happy. We ran second. We're still a second-place car, and we're receiving it through his disqualification, but it's kind of bittersweet. But like I said, I really hate to take it this way.
You know, probably 10, 15 years from now, when folks look back on winners of the World 100, they won't remember that Shannon Babb was like, they'll see your name on the record. Regardless of how this car got here on the stage, your name will still be on the record of drivers who won this historic event.
you know, like I said, everybody will remember, you know, how that shame, what happened. But, you know, it was really close up here with Matt at the Dream, and those rules they're tough. I've been on that side of it, and like I said, my name will be on there, but everybody will know, you know, that I had a second place car. And I just hope we put a good show on for the fans, and I appreciate the support. And I know you guys are a little upset the way it happened, and I'm not really happy the way it happened either, but that's the way it is, and I'm going to take it. I hate it, and he had the best car, and I had the second place car. So, apologize that it's that way, but hey, here we are.
Dale, very gracious.